In this lesson, we are going to discuss the various branches and types of photography. We have learned so far the basics of doing photography and the basics of what is photojournalism and what photojournalists do. As a photographer and as a photojournalist, you have the options of doing different kinds of photography. So, what are these? The photographs we take can be on a variety of subjects. You could be a wildlife photographer, you can be a sports photographer, you can be a travel photographer, or you can cover art and culture. You can choose which area interests you and develop your portfolio and take pictures in that area. We are going to explore several such areas in this lesson. In this video, we are going to start with the basics, news photography. We have been looking at various kinds of photographs so far made by different photojournalists. Now, with Mr. Gurinder Osan's photographs, whom you have met in the third lesson, we are going to look at a range of news photography in which he has covered different assignments. Let's look at these pictures and see how pictures can convey news. And news photography is a very important branch of photography which we must know about as photojournalists. 26 December 2004, the tsunami struck. These are pictures taken by Mr. Gurinder Osan, and like him, many other photojournalists also documented this tragedy. Many people lost their lives, their livelihood, and the places they were living in. As a photographer, what can one do? One can just document what has happened and tell the story to the world. Through these images, the world learned about the tsunami tragedy and help started pouring in from all over the world. In news photography, we tell truth, but we also share the loss and the suffering of other humans. And through our photographs, we can help strangers connect to people far away from them and reach out to them and help them in their hour of need. These photographs of the tsunami show the devastation that happened, which, if these pictures were not taken, the world wouldn't know. How people were affected, how they lost their habitat, how they reached out for help in this hour of crisis. All these are portrayed by these photographs. An aerial view shows the damage that happened through the tsunami. How people coped, how did they heal, how did they try to bring back their lives post this crisis. These photographs show us the tsunami as it happened, and this is one aspect of doing news photography. Now, let's look at another tragedy that has happened and that was documented by Mr. Gurinder Usan. 26/11, the terror attacks at Mumbai. These photographs taken by him show us what happened in 2008 when the terror attacks happened and many people lost their lives. They were injured, and there were people who reached out once again to help. These photographs, once again, though they are a part of news photography, they convey the loss and the adverse impact of certain human actions. As a news photographer, one has to be there at that moment, getting the photographs so that the world can see what actually happened. In August 2010, the Leh district in the Ladakh region of northwestern India experienced a disaster when a cloudburst generated debris flows and killed hundreds of people. The people experienced loss, and we can see the tragic outcome of the cloudburst in these pictures. The cloudburst destroyed houses and damaged the hospital, communication infrastructure, vital roads, and the bus station. The havoc that was created was documented by Mr. Gurinder Usan through these photographs. But also what was documented is how human beings came forward to help each other. Aid came in and people reached out to support their fellow beings in need. There was hope, there was prayer, and these photographs convey how, through this moment, people tried to have faith and get through this difficult time. Now we see photographs on the Nepal earthquake that happened in 2015. This earthquake led to a lot of devastation and a loss of life. It was followed by hundreds of aftershocks, and about a third of the national population of Nepal were affected by this earthquake. These pictures convey to us the devastation that occurred through the earthquake. And the before and after. Children, babies, adults, the earthquake spared no one. Through these photographs, we witness how the people of Nepal suffered, and most of them were the poorest of poor, and their poverty made the response extremely challenging in those times. All these pictures that we have just seen have been taken by Mr. Gurinder San over the years and have documented important events that shook the world and made a difference to people's lives, however not positive. Tsunami, 2611, the Leh cloudburst and the Nepal earthquake. These are events that the world would not want to happen, but they happened. And as a photojournalist, Mr. Gurinder San was there to document the event and tell us the stories. As news photographers, we have important roles to play, and we have to choose if this kind of photography is what we would like to do. We're going to explore more kinds of photography in the next video.